What's up y'all, Jmaculate here. In today's video, I'll be going over how to use the scale settings on the Sonicware Lofi-12 XT. These settings allow you to designate a scale and root note for a track, and any notes you play on that track will then be in that scale with the root note. It's great for building original compositions because you don't need to guess or memorize which notes work harmonically, so it's super easy to build chords. And the best part is, you don't need any advanced music theory knowledge to use this tool. Alright, let's get to it. Before diving into the scale settings, it's important to mention that the scale mode requires you to use a sample that's tuned to the pitch of C. Depending on where you got your samples, the pitch of the note may appear in the name of the file, or you might have to figure it out. A simple way to check is to play a note that you know is a C note and compare it to the sample you're working with. So here I have a piano sample that I know is a C note, and I want to compare it to this Mellotron flute sample that I have on this pad. If your note sounds lower or higher pitched than the reference sound, adjust the pitch one semitone at a time until it matches the tone of the C note. You can easily change the pitch by one semitone by holding the function button, then clicking down the B knob when you're on the SND page. Now each turn of the knob corresponds to one semitone. I think that matches. So now that we've got the sample tuned to C, let's take a look at the scale settings. You can access those by going to the SND page, then entering pad mode by pressing the pad button. If you're not seeing this screen, make sure that your sample is set to the mono or poly playback mode. If you're on slice mode, you're going to see a different screen and the scale settings won't be accessible. So from here you can select one of more than 30 available scales by turning the A knob, and you can use the B knob to change the root note of the scale. I'm going to pick the minor scale with a root note of D. So now when I press the pads, the pitch of the sample matches the notes in the D minor scale. And it's very easy to build chords because you can press almost any combination of keys and things will sound pretty decent. The pads on the Lofi-12 XT are also velocity sensitive, so you can get some unique voicings each time you play a chord. So let's try recording something in. So let's go back to that flute sample. Just like with the previous track, I need to adjust the scale settings so that it's also in D minor. And let's record in a bass line next. In addition to using scale mode to play back samples saved on the Lofi-12 XT, you can also transmit MIDI notes in your selected scale to external gear, which is great if you have a keyboard, synth, or other MIDI instrument lying around. The first thing you need to do is adjust the MIDI out settings on the Lofi-12 XT. You can access these settings by holding function and then pressing the play button. then select the MIDI settings. First, enter the track page and set the track to transmit MIDI notes on the channel that your external gear uses. So here I'll set track number 4 to transmit on channel 1. Next, enter the config page and set the out2 to MIDI and the transmit note to on. Now I just need to connect a MIDI cable from the out port on my Lofi-12 XT to the in port on my keyboard. And I also need to hear my keyboard, so I'm going to plug the main out of the keyboard into the line in on the Lofi-12 XT. Alright, so now I should be able to hear notes playing from my keyboard. I like the sound of this pad preset, so I'm going to control that with the Lofi-12 XT. So just like before, I'll enter pad mode and set the scale to minor with the D root note. And now when I press the pads, it'll control the external gear. So those are a few ways to use scale mode on the Lofi-12 XT. But there are other uses, like setting the root note and scale of your instruments to match a song that you've sampled. But that does it for this video, so thanks for watching, see you next time.